Hello everybody, this is Sonia. Now I'm on here today because I'm doing some more stitching. Now on the heading for this I said it was slow stitching, which it is going to be, and it is. One of the ladies asked when was I going to show the slow stitching. Well, all of the embroidery is considered to be slow stitching, but this is, I suppose, what you were talking about when you put on just little straight stitches and you just cover your piece of work, okay? Now, I've done this, this is probably one of the first ones I ever did many years ago, and I actually put applique on there and then stitched across that. And this piece is part, all these bits are just joined together and you just do all the little stitching, okay? So with this, I need to put the actual things on it first before I stitch it, because you don't know where you're going to put it and you don't have to stitch over it and stuff like that. But so it's like this piece here, for example. See, I've put on these pieces of sorry, please. Sorry, people. Oh, we're in Australia and it's a terrible looking day out there. I put the laces on about the same time after, or about the same time as I was just doing the stitches, okay? So slow stitching refers to something that's just ordinary, plain, I suppose, and it's not stressful or anything, and you just sit and stitch any colours, any direction, doesn't matter, just off you go. But I guess it's all slow stitching in a way because it's not done with the sewing machine, and we're just doing it just depends, you know. I know people like to see the slow stitching, but it is probably not that exciting as far as, you know, you're just going to be stitching different ways and backwards and forwards, and I've done a real lot of that, but I wanted to do something like this. If anybody thinks I should change the heading on that, well, that's fine, but I just want to leave it like it is. I think people know that this is what I'm going to be doing anyway, after I have finished putting on the pieces that I'm working on, all right? So now I've got this leaf that I've done, and for some reason it does not look any good that way, but it does look all right this way, which is really strange as far as I'm concerned. But I'm not going to do that today, and we're not going to be using that one today. I'm going to do a couple of more ideas for stems, you know, do a couple more. So I want to do a few more stems. I need to start a piece that's about here. I can do that and get away with it, you know, because I don't need to take it right to the bottom, I don't think. And I'm going to use this maybe there, because it does, to me, it looks better. Here it does not work at all for some reason. It just does not work. And I haven't got a little bead or something in the middle of there, so I'm going to have to do that. So I'm going to put it here, I think, but I want to stitch it down, but won't do it just yet because, like I said, I want to put stems here, and, well, I will be putting this here, I think. I do like that there where it is. Stop with the sorry about the ums. Yeah, so that's pinned there because it was going to all come apart, and I need to cover that. Maybe we could just do the stitch up there to start with. The stems, I mean. So I've got ideas for stems, right? Now I've got things that I'm going to test to see what they're going to look like. So there's this piece here. This is interesting, isn't it? It's a piece of lace, but it would make a good stem, wouldn't it? Okay. I've got a really long piece of that, which it's really annoying, so I'm going to cut a bit off. But the rest, when I say that, because it just took me ages to get the thing. All these pieces were really long, and I think I've stressed myself out trying to get them out of the thing and unrolled them, accidentally of course, but anyway. So I hope everybody's having a good day today. Mine's been so far pretty good. Jeremy had to go and do the shopping today because it was raining and I couldn't go out there on my scooter, so I had to stay home, which I didn't really mind that much. I promise I didn't. Now I don't know if these ones here would be any good for stems, these gold ones. Not on this piece here anyway. Maybe not on this piece, but you know, that's interesting, isn't it? And these here, they're interesting pieces, but I've got those there because I'm going to put them around something that I'm working on I think. So that's what they were doing there, because I'm trying to keep things tidy, but that didn't work. Now this is a piece off the edge of material, you know, so that's interesting for a stem, isn't it? I cut that back a bit. Now these are good, but this is too wide. This one here's a bit better, and then you can thread something through that, and then there's a Hessian one. I think he's too wide, but I think you can cut this. I think you can cut this thin, I think. Let's have a go. Just, yeah, look at that. So you can cut it so you don't have to... I will stitch it on in some way, you know, some nice way. Some nice way. Right. So I'm going to put that there, I think. Maybe not. It doesn't have much of a... Does it? It doesn't say anything to me. It doesn't speak to me at all. How about that one? How about that? But see, the thing is too, now we've got to think about, do I want a leaf on it? Yeah. Maybe this is not the right place to put that thing. Maybe I should do some sewing there instead. Maybe this one can go up over that. But only start under the leaf. I do want to make I do want to make a circle there though. Now let's see, where's our bits. I might have to cut one out. I might have to cut out a circle if I haven't got the right circle. So I've also got the idea we could do these as well, use them as stems. But, you know, if it's not working with this piece, you know, we don't have to put them on here. We can just have the idea. I've got the plain circles. I might have to cut out one because I haven't got anything. Oops. Do I need the green rickrack? I might just put it there as an idea, because the more I look at that other fluffy one, the more I like it. This one here, the more it seems to go with what I'm doing to me. This here one. But you need, I think, a variety too of interesting bits, you know. And then I've got cut a piece of felt. Your hands are not moving much for me today, are they? So I'll have a circle up here. What I'm going to do with it, I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm going to do with the circle. It's just for a guide. You know, there's going to be something over the top of that. That's just there for a guide. And I think this is too light for what we're doing. We need a brighter colour, don't we? I do not want them to be too blending in. I do like this though. I do like the rickrack. Actually, that can't be the same height as that other one. That won't look right. It's got to be up here further, doesn't it, this one? And then I've got nothing. Hang on a second. I think I need to turn the heater off. I think it's too hot in here. It's blocking me mind. You think that's possible? Have a bit of this. That'll work. I think that might work. It's very long. It's going to have something. Maybe I could put... No, definitely not. Bring that back over there. To my way of thinking, that It's nearly finished that bit. See, I've got to get these to go up along there. I need foliage, stems, something I need in here to make it go the way that I want it to be. Right. So we just need a bit of felt, which I have heaps of it, you know, but green, yellow. Don't know what colour to work over the top of it. Is it too bright? Probably not. I haven't really studied what I'm going to do with this bit yet. Because I was just going to do the stem today for you and show you that. And see what else we've got organised here. I think this is the final time. I think this is the finale and there's the end of this, but we're not putting things in the show. Hubby went outside with our daughter the other day and she said, Dad, you've got to put something in there. And he thought, yeah, righto, because she said, you know, she should do that. So he said he agreed with her and said we would. But then he said he went out there and he looked at it and he thought, you know, this is not good enough. I'm not doing it. He said, why should I put those things in there if I don't think they're good enough? And I just absolutely agree with him 100% because I haven't finished my things and I'm not sure about it. So I'm going to pin that there because I'm going to do that. Okay. And all I've got to do is discover what I've done with the pins, and I'm sure that they're still... No, they're not still here at all. They must be back in the box. No, these are not the same ones. I've got some under the bottom. Nobody panic, I have pins. I don't know what happens to the ones I got me pin cushion. Whoops. And I bought these dressmaking pins from Woolworths and they don't stick through anything. Try that and make a liar out of me today, but oh yeah, right. Not bad. They're a bit big and cumbersome, but I'd rather these ones with tops on them because then you can see where they are. The others you can see too, of course, but well, I'm going to put this up here, okay? So I'll cut this off here to start with because I don't think I want it to come right down to the bottom. I want it to come from there, cover over my strip down this bit. Does it have to be straight? Do you think that's... I only want it to come that far. I do not want it to be all the way. For some reason, I don't know what that is, but I don't. Okay. Now I'll pin this on. And I've got the blanket underneath it, which is probably not a good idea. I know it didn't stick in there. That's good. I don't know, we don't need to make it straight, do we? Things are not necessarily straight. In the garden they might tip over a bit this way or that way. Are they? Oh, I'm going to get myself with these things. Okay, so now I'm going to put something across that, stitch across it backwards and forwards in either a purple or an orange or yellow or something like that, eh? Aren't we? It's so good having these in all these boxes in front of me so I can grab out what I need. I might even go for something a bit different a colour. How about that? Is that all right? That's bright enough, isn't it? Might have to go with a bit of that now. Okay. Good needle. And then we might stitch something in the background somehow so we can see what it's going to look like with the you're supposed to, when you're painting something, I know, I suppose when you're sewing it too, supposedly I have heard that what you see first you put on last with your work. I don't know if it's painting, could be just this, could be just embroidery or something, but supposedly what you're seeing first you put you add on there last, so you put the background on first. So I've got a bit of background, but I haven't got enough, I don't think, so I'm going to down in the gully over this bit. Now I'm looking at that and I'm going, I don't like it being bare like that. It doesn't impress me at all. Doesn't impress me any whatsoever. Oh well, we had our inspection yesterday. That was really interesting because that girl that came here took pictures of everything in this house, and I thought that was quite wrong, really. They've been here before and not done that. They've just had a photo of the room. She was taking pictures of everything, and I didn't like that. And she said, I said, gee, I said, you're doing an awful lot. I said, because there's not usually that much they do. And she said, oh, she said, I'm new. She said, I'm probably been more thorough. I thought, well, taking photos of my what's in my house is not a thorough thing, but anyway. She even wanted to look in Jeremy's shed and see if she could take pictures of that, but you know what? He's nothing to do with it. He owns a shed, not him. And that doesn't matter anyway, because he told her she couldn't, it was that dark and she couldn't see anything, and if she goes in there she'd probably find a spider and that, because he doesn't really go in there that much himself. He's probably seen it on our videos. It's a bit old and been there for 30 odd years and it's not real inviting, but she just wanted to. Oh. But anyway, I suppose she was all right doing her job properly, I guess that's what she said. I didn't argue with her at the time or anything. I just said, we just talked about it later and thought, that was probably not necessary. Then you've got to check and make sure, what have I sewed to this by mistake? Nothing. They've got to check and make sure that we're not making holes in the walls or, pulling the house apart or anything like that. Jeremy said he probably thought I was growing something in the shed that I shouldn't have been. A bit dark in there for that, I think. I don't know. Sort of. Oh, dear. Oh, well. She didn't even come from here. She came from Forbes and that because she was taking over the other lady's job for the day or something. That usually comes here, who stands in the middle of the room and says, oh, this looks good, and takes a couple of piggies and off she goes. The other girl went into every room, even my sewing room. She came in here and took pictures of me sewing. Isn't it a good thing I cleaned it up? She would have broke the neck if she had come in here before. Yeah, she said her mum has a sewing room too. That's good. Everybody needs one of these, don't they? I've always called it my sewing room because I sewed before I did anything else. Well, I've always called it that. So to me, that's what it is. And it's my craft room. It's my studio. It's me whatever it is. The room where I hang out of the morning. Sometimes with the cat, mostly without, if I can get away from him. Okay, so now I'm going to come back down here, back the other way. It shouldn't be hard to do. All I've got to do is just cross it back. I'm not going to worry about the first one though, because there's going to be something sitting over the top of that. Okay. We're not actually crossing it. We're just going back. We're going back across this side. Okay. Let's make it go across there. That still got me reasonably straight, didn't it? I might have to turn this into a bag now. I don't know. I've got lots of things I can turn into bags. I'll learn them in machine. I quite enjoyed yesterday playing with that. I mean, a lot of people said to me, why don't I read the instructions? But I already have. And there's that much stuff in my head and going on in my brain. You can't always remember everything that you see, especially if it was weeks and that ago. So I will definitely be looking in it before I wouldn't ever touch anything on it unless I knew what I was doing. But anyway, it was a long time before coming to me, but it was all right, because every time I thought I'd get it, I'd think, oh no, I don't need to, you know. But that other one was just still working after it was stopped. That wasn't good. It was still motoring, and it was, the tension wasn't that good in it. It was clunking away like a, you know, old train or something. It was in a really bad way. It's gone to the dump. I'm not even giving it to anybody because it's, I don't want anybody else to have the trouble with it, you know what I mean? You don't, I used to have to coax it along to go. I don't want to give it to anybody else to have to do that, eh? This is just a straight stitch. But I want to do some sort of foliage. When I say that, what do you mean? No, some background bits. I'll show you in a minute. We'll show you in a minute. I know what's in my brain. I just got to get it out. Got to talk about it and got to do it, eh? And if I can, get it out there and do it. I just want to do one. I'm going to put some French knots on here too now. Now that's going to go there. Like that. Is that right? No. What happened? What happened? I thought it looked good. So I'll stitch that down, slow stitching or some sort of thing. That'll have to be something fancy too, so when I get around to it. If I can put that over there. I kept looking at it and didn't think it'd be right. I'll get some green cotton and do a bit of something. I've got heaps of this, but I've only rolled some of it. It's really handy stuff, it is. Same colour. Does that matter? Maybe yes. I might do something different. It's too... Maybe it's a bit light. Let's have a look, see what else we got up here. This one here's alright. It's only a tiny bit different in the colour-wise. Probably should draw a picture, you know, but I'm not a big fan of doing that. But I never follow the picture. It's like everything I do, I don't follow the... After I get started on something, it just changes all the way I'm going. You just know that, don't you, Sammy? If you've been on here, you know me. If you haven't, well, it's interesting to see what I might come up with. Corinne says that about me. She said you never know what I might come up with. Okay. So before I get maybe halfway up there. Now I'm going to do a stem stitch to start with. And I don't know if this is big enough. It might be. Got a lot to do, so we're going to have to see if it'll work. Okay, so you just go down, this is your stem stitches. Just go down like this. Them birds are out there calling one another. It's nearly springtime. I'm going to have to stay inside. Well, I'm going to get my hat on. Last year I wore my scarf over my head and then put a hat on. And it wasn't really that. These are getting big giant things, but that doesn't matter either because it's not small. Anyway, back to that. The birds picked me on the head and it hurts really bad. I'm going along. I was going to buy myself a helmet, but I thought that might be a bit funny. Anyway, I've just put my scarf on my head and my hat. And I think he nearly got me there one time. But not, it didn't hurt sort of thing, you know. There was a... Now I'm going to put that other, am I putting that leaf there? I think I might be. I'm going to have to stop and do that because we've got to do more and we don't want it to be. Okay, that's cool. Well, too many knots there, you don't need all that. Come on. I'm getting too carried away, aren't I? I know what I want to do and I want to get it done. I can't go fast enough. Can't go fast enough. Come here. Right. I've got to put a bead in there first before I do anything else. I'll stick it on there. Where's my bead needle? Up here, it's got green on it. Remember, because this morning I sewed those green ones round. It doesn't matter if I put a yellow one on there, does it? I'm not going to care about that. I really do care, but you know what I mean. It'll look good. Nobody panic. It'll look fine. I got a little orange one. He might be too subdued, but is he? Might be. Can't see him. How about a blue? Gee, these are pretty, aren't they? That's nice. We'll have that one. Gonna have to start putting some blue in this piece I'm working on too. Because I haven't got any yet, so I'll have to do a bit of that. Where'd he go? Here. It'll look good. They might look good around the outside of this too, because I think I need beads on the edge of it as well. I don't know yet. I'll sew it on there and see what it looks like. Gee, that's not good. That went through there. It picked up on that little thing I did. I catched that bit down. I did a stem stitch. I did a chain stitch around the outside, and then I did a double cast on stitch. Cast on stitch in the centre. I mean, for the flower. And the back. I'm going to end that off because I'm going to sew this on, but I could change my mind, and if I do, I go to take that off, it might fall down. Now I can't just have one stem, okay? I'm going to have to put stuff on it and what have you, but I'm thinking I need to put that there too first before I do any more. That's not going to shut, that's okay. It's fine. I'm going to stitch this on very carefully without it coming right through, just to keep it in place till I decide what to do with it. I'm sure I'll be manage it just fine, whatever it is. Look at me. Supposed to be putting it over here. I'll manage it just fine. Oh dear, people, sorry about that. Ah, crikey, Sonya. Dear, oh dear. Oh, you're a silly old lady sometimes. Oh, no, I shouldn't say that about myself, but I don't know what I'm thinking, but I'm trying to go real fast because there's only 15 minutes left on the clock, and I'm thinking, oh dear, I've got to finish this because it's not going to fit in the thing. I go under the bottom here, sneak about under here. If you can see where I'm just catching the piece under there and sewing it on, okay, just to keep it in place because I didn't want to put a pin in it. Oh dear, what's that back? I didn't want to put a pin in it, and I need it there to see what I think about it, okay? It's not necessarily anything finished on it yet, but it's not bad. I do like it, it's not bad. So these bits here, we're going to have to do some more work on that. There's going to have to be lots of them. Bits of stem and things, don't you reckon? Maybe not. I don't know. Well, now that I've got that leaf there, I don't know if I'm quite too sure about this now. I don't know if I'm too sure about this now. Whether I need to do that. Let's just look at that later. Let's play with this one. See if we can come up with something really snazzy on here. I need it to go up as high as I can because I wanted it to... Yeah. Oops, sorry about that, I didn't mean to hit you. I'm going to stitch this down. No, maybe I should have something like a knot. I probably needed a smaller thread, I think. Now I've got to think about what I'm going to do here first before I do that, don't I? Because a mouthful of water, rack me brain a bit. Because I don't think that's going to be the base. I think I need something a bit bigger still than that bit. I'm thinking I need something a bit bigger still than that. How about that one? Over the top, but you know, maybe the other way. I know. I'll make a circle with this bit, the green bit, and then put the yellow one in the inside. I'll do that. I have a thing to make a circle. It's in a box. Come on, I'll put them in a box so I can find them. Here they are. Here they are. Have you penny? And draw a circle. And that's caught in there too, so but that's okay. You need these things to do stuff with, don't you? You can't have things you can't do stuff. I got my legs stuck around here. It's not not happy. Okay. I do love this colour, this green. And look at that, it's just big enough for me to make that circle there. I need a... Where's my pencil? Because I can use it on this because it can just be turned over. I did pack up a bit a minute ago. Can't force myself to pack up too much because then I get upset because I've got to come in here and grab it all out again, and it's annoying because if I can't find anything. So what I'm working on I've got to leave out here in a place where I can find it the next day. Get another pair of scissors so it won't chop it. Go around here. These are not very sharp either. They're a bit big. I don't know where I got these from. Everything moves about in the room. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to see this myself, but it's... I've got some needle felting on that bit. I was doing needle felting on here, look. I pulled it off there because I didn't want to... You know, my eye's going to give me jip. Oh, goodness me. Maybe that's better. I like a big lollipop, isn't it? Do I want it to go to the side a bit? Hang over? No, make him straight. It'll be alright, won't it? This cut out better than that. That's not good. You can follow the line, Sonia. There you are. Okay. It might be a tiny bit big. I do like to do that though, but I'm not sure on the colour, the middle. Not really sure on the middle bit. Not sure about the yellow bit in the middle. Just try a different one, I suppose. because you can put lots of colours on it and around it. You just got to get the right bit in the centre to start with, don't you? Purple. Really pink. Yes. Let's do the pink. This is nice. I like that bit. Oh, this is definitely going to need something on the stems, you know, like a, don't know what, like I don't know what. I might just make this a tiny wee bit larger. And hopefully it'll be circle-ish. I should have got out the circle and tried to do that, shouldn't I? I think my foot's going to sleep now. I've spent a lot of years in here doing this. Well, 10. But even before that, I still used to spend a lot of time doing my work. Because this is my work anyway, it's my work. That's what I say, it's my work. How's that look? Actually, I want it to come over to the edge. Like that. It's got to have a bit of space. It's not too dark because I'm going to put colours on it. I'm going to put colours on there, so it won't be too dark at all. Now, needle, good. I better fasten it down first, eh? So it's not waving around in the breeze. We only got 7 minutes left to go, and I've only done one stem thing to show you so far. Or a bit of that, I might have to pull that out, I think, because I don't think it's my thing. I'll be honest with you. Okay, so I'm going to just stitch around the edge of here with a couple of stitches to hold it down. You can't see them because they're green, and I'll pull them down into the felt a bit. So for the lady that wants to see when I was going to start my slow stitching, I'll put a link down the bottom to those ones that I did before. There's lots of people doing it, embroidery and that, because it's really turned out to be a lot different than it used to be. It used to be just like fancy work, it was called years ago, but not necessarily, because I remember people did do good things, you know, with fibres and stuff like that. It wasn't necessarily just fancy work. There was lots of different things that they did for embroidery, and I've got books here with all sorts of bits that we, have done over the years. The stuff that we're doing now has been done forever, way back in when those ladies did all that work, probably men as well, because there's lots of men that do enjoy doing some sewing and things, embroideries, and that's good. It really is. We all should have I think it's really nice to do this sort of thing. You make something and it's, all your work, and you'd be proud of it. Okay, so now I should have put that one on too. I should have probably went around the hole too while I was at it, but just a minute, I'll just put a couple of stitches in that. Oh, it'll be right. No, it won't. Excuse me. I think I'll have one here that's got to thread through it already, wouldn't you? But I didn't. I always think I should. I might thread up my cottons before I get started. Yes, that didn't happen today. Hasn't been happening, has it? I think this might look better on a more vintage, lacy thing as a stem, wouldn't it? If you want to do on something like that. I don't know whether I want to put any yo-yos on this. I'm thinking about it, but I think that can be another in its own thing, I know that I should make more things of of constructing more things to show you, and I will do, and to put things together that I've already made. Move that up a bit, because I'm going to do this like I've done in the past, different circle things, but maybe this one's not going to be exactly, okay? This will be, it'll be what it is. It will be what it is. I'm going to have to go in a minute because my time's going to run out there. And it's 45 minutes, and it usually runs out about 49 or something. So I try to make it so that it's... I've got a few extra... Put that in there. Goodness. If anybody's got any ideas, something that they'd like me to make, as long as it's not a bedspread, you know, like anything interesting you'd like to see, I can do that. If you don't get too hard, if it doesn't get too hard, just let me know. I'm not sure about that. That's too fine for this piece. I'll pull that out later. Oh, and I do have this too that I was thinking. You know, that's a good thing too. Just can't put everything on here, but I'm going to probably put it on this other bit I've got. Now, where's that other piece of work I've got here? Things I'm working on. It's on the bottom of here, because you've seen this many times. So the idea for that will be something like this here with the button and the that one. I'm thinking, well, I thought I did more than that one, but I obviously must have put it on something else. I did the cover for this. Did I put it on here? Yeah, it's there. There's a different way of adding it to it. I love this, and it's always there where I need it too. Got a place to put it, and it's got all my needles and things in there. Look at that. It's awesome, isn't it? Anyway, so I'll put it back. Oh, now it doesn't want to... Well, got... Now, yeah, so this is definitely going to be really cool when it's done. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. And I'll be back after with something else. You never know what it's going to be. Okay, talk to you later. Bye-bye.